Campbell, are you here? Okay, I'm here today. When I think of license and consumer protection, I think of the businesses that come here and also the organizations that are allowed to come here and do different things in the city. I'm here to talk about what I saw and what I felt on Sunday, September 8th on 1857 East 71st Street. In the middle of a Black community, this RevCom organization that has been allowed to set up shop in our community, and the values, the mission, and their goals is not something that should be taken lightly. What I felt on Sunday from RevCom, which is under the direction of Bob Avakian, if that's how you correctly pronounce his name, the four words that come to my mind when I was there is indoctrination, grooming, recruitment, army. The biggest threat to America is ingrown home domestic terrorism, correct? You have an organization on 71st Street that is resembling terrorism, and they are allowed to recruit in a Black community. It is open season now that there's a large quantity of illegals, right? People that are oppressed in a foreign land. They are open for the taking to be recruited by this organization that is trying to create hate. Hate towards a group of people that is more oppressed than anybody in America and by America. And I'm talking about Black Americans, descendants of U.S. chattel slavery. You all need to take Bob Avakian's organization and you need to open an investigation. Don't just don't look at the color green and think everything is groovy, because we are telling you I'm here to tell you what I saw with my own eyes and what I felt in my spirit. That is a dangerous organization that has been allowed to set up shop in our community. Very dangerous organization, and they need to be investigated. Do not wait for the blood to start spilling and react. And that's all I got to say. Thank you. Thank you.
Taiwan Sims is our next speaker.
I agree with what she said. Bob Avakian is a terrorist, homegrown, purely. Y'all really wanted, so this was what she was addressing. But as she said, what's Lawson, Bennett, you came into the chamber, you said, hey, these people had come into y'all neighborhood, had assaulted y'all, not physically, but mentally, by hanging these swastikas and hanging all type of different propaganda that was anti-Semitic. You came into and they addressed it with a resolution. They addressed it. They said, you know what? We're going to take care of this. However, I have not seen this in the news. I have not seen any of our elects addressing it for what it truly is, and which it is, a hate crime. And this man is able to operate with impunity, let's say that. And this was the same group of people that came and burnt the American flag in front of City Hall. So just like she said, y'all just gonna sit back, watch him continue on being self-important and white, whatever it is, privileged, while he set up whatever it is offensive he got planned for City Hall, because they oftentimes down here, y'all know what this group is, but y'all just letting them continue on, I guess because Black people are hating against immigrants. Anyway, I came down here also in regards to the issue with my mom that I'm still dealing with in the courts. Daughter protections, for the reason that the city of Chicago has targeted me, sought me out. What y'all plan to come? Oh, we're gonna make him crazy. He a crazy, abusive person. He a violent man. If I am, y'all made it. Y'all locked me up when I was a child. And now that I'm an adult, y'all still treat me with the same, I guess, vigor. Y'all just despise Black Americans, especially those that's trying to fight their way out of the bull crap. Bob Avakian can have his whatever it is in his mind, but I'm dealing with the fact that on the 16th, I'll be in trial. The court number 21DV7011001 at 555 West Harrison, courtroom 401, for a case that should not have even made it this far. Now, 3 years out, me and the judge have a relationship, and we never even went out. So I'm just supposing, how is this resolved? And when am I treated? When am I going to be given my due diligence, my due process? When am I going to be treated with some humanity? Or like a constituent? Or like somebody y'all said y'all was going to serve, y'all was going to help us?
Thank you.
George Blakemore, Mr. Hopkins. You're a recycle from the county. Used to be the chief of staff for John Daly. You know when I put that discrimination suit on you several years ago, where you tried to set me up and say, Christina, I hit somebody. I know you. And now you're over in Streeterville. And like the young lady spoke before, it's terrible. The white folks are just been terrorized by these illegal immigrants there on Ohio and Ontario and that big hotel. And you have a dastard to go and tell the sergeant of arms, if Mr. Blakemore use any kind of language to stand up, I'm gonna tell the sergeant of arms to put me out. Who do you think you are? Or who do you think I am? Don't go there. Don't go there. I know you. I have a history. You're just another recycle from the county. And you was the chief of staff for John Daly. And you didn't do nothing there, and you're not doing nothing here. You voted for those illegal immigrants. Over $1 billion, and some of our black elected officials also voted for that. That's not in the interest of black people. Well, somebody, you said you were going to close up that hotel, but they still there. You know why? Because you're getting paid. You're getting paid. This is pay to play down here. It's about the money. It's pay to play down here. And you have that gas to say, if Mr. Blakemore say anything disruptive, I'm going to tell the sergeant of arms, tell your mama. You heard me. Now drag me out. Tell your own mama there was a crime against humanity when black people was enslaved over here. You didn't give us any money, and we're not advocating for reparation, which you should do. $1 billion was spent on the illegal. And the sad thing about it, they had black places in high places also voted for sanctuary when your black aid needs it yourself. Now you're giving away free homes to them. And it's time to turn this city red. It's time to turn it red. What's wrong with you black people? I got to run over here. Jeanette got a game being played over there. And then over here, you have these meetings at the same time, on the same date. You know what you can kiss? Use your imagination. But I'm going to give you a little something more to show that imagination. Man.
Sergeant at Arms, please remove this individual for violating decorum and conducting himself in an offensive manner. He is not welcome at this meeting, and he is not allowed back in for the duration of the day. Thank you.
Zoe Lee? This is the Committee on Economic Capital and Technology Development. Like I always speak on when it comes to technology in our communities, when it comes to a lot of our black kids are gamers, and we have nothing in our communities when it comes to that. I've been coming out here for the last year, and I don't even see you guys speak on anything like that, but you guys are never going to speak on anything like that because y'all are worried about taking our properties in exchange of affordable housing, which is a racket, or social services that will be in the black community, but really won't be for the black community. I have to threaten Northwestern Hospital about seeing a psychiatrist because they have it that anybody that is Black that has to deal with any type of mental health issues, they have to go reach out to NAMI and other places when I can just go to Northwestern, especially when I have health care. But that's going to continue to happen because, again, there's nothing designed for Black Americans, Black kids. We have our aldermen like such as Walter Burnett, who sells out our Black communities, like Cabrini Green. He just gave that to the Halston owns all of Cabrini Green, anything else over there, Old Town, all of that. He's on their payroll. So he's never going to help us, or over in there in that ward. And he's been doing that for a long time. And they made him the vice mayor because this is the Black Democratic machine that will continue to do this to our communities if we do not break it, which we are breaking it. Like I said, I technically own the city of Chicago because I don't know what in your right minds thought that y'all were going to steal my family's property on 79th and Halsted and give it to a white developer and not compensate us, which is violation of the Fifth Amendment. So y'all really do need to understand y'all Constitution, check y'all deeds because they are still in our properties. That is our generational wealth, and that's why we are down at the bottom of the totem pole. So, so when it comes to economic and capital and technology development, we need our technology. As you see, there's a surge of the Indians coming over here that's taking over our technology jobs, and they're watering them down. Technology jobs, you could be $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 a year. Now they're going down to $40,000 and $50,000 a year because they're all coming over here now. We are in a race of emergency, and y'all really need to start researching and seeing that the Democratic Party is not for us.
Thank you, Zoe. Our next speaker is Keith Allen.
Good morning. I first want to say that I am representing Pastor John Harrell. I'm with Black Men United. My name is Keith Allen again. We are here to represent and to support this initiative. We believe that Metro Edge, Craig Huffman are inspirational. What they're doing with this, what he's doing as the only African-American brother doing this data center work. We appreciate that, and we know that these data center residency ordinances would bring more jobs, and that's what we want, more jobs, and it will create more revenue. We need more revenue, definitely, because we are facing a budget deficit. So we have come here today to be heard, and we want to make sure that you all understand that Black Men United supports this initiative. And we know that new developments like this are essential. And we know that we can increase, or we can lower the tax burden on residents, small businesses, and working people. It's not their job to close these gaps. So we ask that this ordinance be passed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. Our next speaker is Craig Huffman.
Good morning. I wasn't here last time, but I know some people kept putting my name in their mouth. My name is Craig Huffman. I am the CEO of Metro Edge Development Partners, the only African-American developing a data center in the city, in the state, and potentially the country. I'm here today. I was born and raised in the city, south side of Chicago. Both of my parents are educators, right? 91st and Oglesby. I successfully went on, built a real estate business, sold the business, took the gain, identified investors for my last business, and now I have a site that will be $300 million of investment at 15th and Damon on the near west side. Why is that important? Because people that look like me are not in this data center game. The chamber represents a new voice. That's carrying an old message. How many of the aldermen here remember 25 and 5? 25 and 5 is essential. It has facilitated African American, Latino, Asian businesses, the others that groups like the Chamber have excluded, right? Have given them opportunity to be at the table. My father used to say, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. Well, listen to me, people. This is an opportunity to generate revenue and generate greater diversity in an industry that is not. Now, a couple facts I want to highlight. 25 and 5 was fought legally. 25 and 5 just said, look, we want folks that don't look like the usual suspects to have a chance to be at the table. That's one part. We also know that this ordinance could generate up to $13 million. I'm going to repeat that. $13 million per new data center. The city is facing nearly $1 billion budget deficit. This opportunity is to get more people that look like me, look like others, to be at the table. So I encourage you to support this today, not because of lies, and I will say the Chamber gave a lot of lies today, but because we need facts to get out of the deficit we're facing for this year, but also for the next fiscal year and the year after that, because the citizens of this city are barely making ends meet, many of them. And so what we need is not to default to property taxes and pushing the pain to them, but to push for new ideas that will generate revenue to relax the burden on the residents of Chicago. I encourage you enthusiastically to support data residency because we are on the right side of history. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Huffman. Our next speaker is Dr. Felice Binion.
Good morning. I am also here to piggyback on what Mr. Hoffman said, because as we are facing a $1 billion deficit, we cannot take it off the backs of the taxpayers. I know some people whose mortgage has gone up $1,100 per month because of the tax burden that are already going on now. And so I beseech you, I have been fighting this fight about taxes. We have to think out of the box on other streams of revenue, other income coming in other ways. And this is another way to bring in income. We had over $1 billion people's information hacked last week somewhere in California. And so now if we can kind of have some of the information of ours here, where we have there's some accountability, we know where it's at, we have an idea if something is going on where we can go to and say, hey, you know what is happening with our information in this place here in regards to security? It will be secure. It will be economically friendly for the community, as well as it is also in regards to the environment. I'm sure all of the rules and regulations will be followed. I'm sure that it will be secure, and it will be a plus for our youth who are already technology savvy, and they don't have to go and have a 4-year degree to make $160,000 a year. So wouldn't you like to do that like everybody else? Isn't that a part of the American dream? We want the American dream like everyone else. We want our youth to have the American dream like everybody else. So if we want to do that, then we have to start making changes. We have to start implementing programs, implementing different things in Chicago, in the state of Illinois, that's going to bring changes for our youth. It's time out for saying, we're going to pass the can on down the line. You know what? We feel so sorry. We'll give you a little social services. We'll give you a little bread. We'll give you a little cheese until the next elected officials come in. No, the change is now. The cavalry is here. We're the change. We've got to make changes in how we do things. We've got to open up things so that everybody can have a piece of the pie, and everybody can have the American dream, a home. If you want 3 kids, have 4. If you want the dog or the cat. And I'm asking you today and beseeching you, allow this to take place, allow this to happen so that dreams can come true with our youth and our communities, where people can stay in their homes and not make a choice between mortgage or food. Thank you.
This week the committee had a meeting on ShotSpotter. That's part of the technology department, I'm supposing. However, it's more than just technology for us, Black Americans in Chicago. And I'm not speaking from some talking point either. I'm not supporting Larry Snelling because he's a Black man. I'm supporting this technology, I suppose. Because in our case, there's no other way for us to get like really sharp and comprehensive policing in a lot of places. So we left the bleed out in a lot of places, gunned down, shot up for whatever reason. Maybe it's because one of our aldermen, this was in his words, he said that we should be a technology driven, that we should allow for AI to run city government. And then once it makes a decision, we should go ahead and develop it. Wow. So we elected you all to think, or at least to be a think tank for us, to support us when we needed y'all in circumstances, situations, but instead you rather defer it to an AI. We hit. But we hit when on September 22nd, y'all supposing y'all gonna take ShotSpotter out to leave our children in the dark, to leave our young adults in the dark, to leave our communities in the dark without the unnecessary technology. This is what to save lives or aid in saving lives. Because y'all allowing for our public safety and Black American communities to erode so much that we lose countless lives every weekend. Read the headlines. What was the headlines this weekend? But hey, we're not accounted for. Economically, y'all know we can get into the argument $1 billion, the shortfalls, the programs that's going to be cut off. All we're going to take the hits. These going to come out of Roseland, Austin, Inglewood. We're going to take the hits. And this was publicly said to the news, to the media, that we're going to have to take these, we're going to have to, because y'all going to scramble to try to recover this shortfall. And you know where the scrambling going to start at? In Black communities, where we are already economically disparaged, where we are already economically cut off at the knees. Forget the knees. We ain't even got legs to support ourselves. And y'all finna try to hit us again. Property taxes, take homes. So I'm just saying, y'all, this is what we've been dealing in. Sitting in this room, listening to these people say, there's not gonna be a property tax raise. This area of expenditure is not gonna get hit. And the whole time they paying out $70 million to what they call the new arrival initiative. That's our replacement. This is our replacement, jobs, resources, everything poured into some people who have not contributed anything, but Black Americans have.
Thank you, Mr. Sims.
Next, we have Alicia Campbell.
Okay. I need to remind everybody in this room that the taxes collected also come from the Black community. But yet again, we are always asking the Black community, step aside while we use your tax dollars to feed another group of people, put another group of people on the path to wealth and prosperity, educate another group of people, always asking us to step aside. And then we come here with our concerns and it's dismissed. Byron, you love to say that you're doing everything for the city, but we just learned in the, what was that? The economic capital and technology development, that something was built in your ward of Pete's Produce that has Blacks in that community, and not one Black contractor was on the construction and none of the Black people were hired to work in the store. So that's proof that your goal and agenda is for your people and not the entire city of Chicago. And it's unfair. And we have to keep putting you on blast. Me personally, I think you are a very dangerous individual for this city. And you don't need any more power in this city. Because I also learned this terrorist group that's on 71st Street, you are associated with them. A communist group allowed to open up an organization in our community where they are recruiting to create violence in this city. You are associated with them. That is extremely alarming to me. And I can say that because my taxes pay your salary and all of you all's salary. This is not a game. Whatever agenda you have, you better get it straight and you better be honest, because the truth is coming out about what is really at stake here and who's gonna profit. I am not okay with you telling Black people that we have to accept these people from around the world. Nobody is more oppressed by America and in America than the Black American descendants of chattel slavery. I'm gonna say that again. There is nobody more oppressed than us. Nobody. But step aside and let everybody have a piece of the American pie, but y'all pay for it and watch everybody rise. This is unacceptable. And we are not being quiet anymore about this. As I said, go on the record. You are a very dangerous individual for this city, and you don't need no more power. Thank you.
Thank you.